Sorry, 1 second. Hi, David. Hi, I've got the police just arrived now. That's okay. No problem at all. No problem. Because I've got my legal advisor on the phone. Do you want to have a quick conversation?
I just need to chat with you, find out what's happened. I've only just turned up.
Oh, have you? Okay. That's fine. So, yeah, it's 6 o'clock this morning, banging on the door. A lady was saying she's from this third-party corporation called the Cedar Group. Never heard of them before in my life. Also, I've never received any letters or anything in the post. They're claiming to be wanting that amount of money. They've not shown me any legal paperwork with a judge's fingerprint in wet ink stamp or anything to confirm who they are. She said, call the number, so I've called the number, but then by the time I'm calling the number and typing the email, she's saying that there's someone coming to collect my vehicle. So obviously, as you can imagine, if someone turned up at your door saying that you owe money, because I could make that on my computer and put that through your door, you wouldn't. Doesn't mean you have to pay me. And then at the same time.
Do you know what this is about at all?
Never heard of that before.
Do you know what this whole debt's about?
You sent a letter into Transport for London, remember?
It says on it Transport for London, and that's what she mentioned. That's right, David. Yeah.
You've put the account into dispute, you've conditionally accepted, and you're waiting to hear back from Transport for London. You're in honour and you have clean hands. This isn't vexatious, and we want the law to be applied.
There's not a copy of any letters.
Sure. The officer can hear you, David.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I'm David. I'm helping out today, and we need some protection and support. There's trespass and theft going off.
If you're legal advisor, you'll be well aware that trespass is very much a civil matter.
So is this. This account is a civil matter as well.
Agreed.
No crime.
We're essentially just here for breach of the peace and to make sure everyone's all right.
Yeah, duty and obligations. We appoint you as a trustee in your fiduciary capacity, if that's okay. You're witnesses to crimes as well. We'd like to see...
Yeah, of course, my camera's on, so my camera's recording the whole incident from here on out.
I'll start recording this call for appellants, and we just want this lady to know that this gentleman's made representation via account into dispute, via a letter sent, conditional acceptance, and he's accepted it all, and he's working it out with the issuing authority. Now, this lady is adamant that she's going to proceed with paperwork from a court, so we'd like to know he hasn't been to court, he has the right to face his accuser and the right to face audience. May I ask, is anybody here legally trained? And if so, what qualifications of what law do you have? Because I am, and I've done this before, and I'm willing with clean hands and non-vexatious to represent this man in the capacity of,
obviously, as police officers, we have, in some depth, obviously, knowledge of the legal powers of bailiffs and the enforcement officers. I mean, obviously...
okay, thank you.
I haven't even spoken to her yet, so I don't know what her side of the story is.
We need help, and we appoint you, please, to help and in your capacity for this civil matter. That's exactly what it is, so thank you. I'm going to be quiet and let them handle it, but I'm here if need be, okay.
Thank you so much, David.
I'll chat with her now anyway,
thank you.
Thank you. So the officer's just going to speak to the lady now.
So take me off speakerphone then, and let's have some
Yeah, you're on private.
I called in the nick of time then. I've had, oh my days. So that's what's going off this morning. It couldn't have happened at a worse time, but I just thought I'll ring and see.
Oh, thank you so much. It's literally perfect timing. He literally just approached the car at that moment, so thank you so much.
I'll put a note in Facebook and let them know I'm on the phone to you, so they can, because they'll panic and worry. And I don't know where Kevin is. I haven't had a look at the comments as such, but well done for cracking on and asking for help. And then.
Yeah, and I've tried to, just sort of tried to sort of get into my head sort of the situation. I've watched the YouTube videos that you've sent, so it's in my head now.
Yeah, you've got the email of the recording that
you
had with the lady, so you've got that as well. So she needs to back off a bit, and we need to say you've sent a letter, and it wasn't sent signed for, so it may have got lost in the post, so we're going to send more communications and redo it all. You need further time to represent, that's all it is. He's just said it's a civil matter. They can only prevent a breach of the peace, so they're not going to enforce shit. So it's on that lady now, and if they enforce, we'll have to see warrant cards and ID, and you'll need to start recording them as well. We're not putting this on YouTube, but you need to record them to scare them a bit, warrant cards, ID, you know, and things like that. If they start to enforce her action, it's a civil matter. He's just said, so they can't get involved. There's no crime, you know, and if it was issued by a judge, it would be a crime, you know, so they could step in, but they have no
exactly.
problem.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, hello.
You spoke to my colleague. My name's PC Prophet.
I did speak to your colleague. Yeah.
Just so you know, I'm recording, so everything I say and everything she says to me is being recorded.
Yeah, I'm recording everything too.
That's fantastic. If you want a copy of this recording, because it's obviously of you,
Yeah.
you can request it at the police station, just so you know.
Request it at the police
You
station,
can
yeah?
request a copy of the video if you want it. Because
Okay,
it's
lovely.
you.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, it's being your data, effectively.
Sure.
Okay, she's shown me a warrant of control for your vehicle, okay?
A warrant of control for my vehicle, she's showing you.
Your vehicle has been seized by them.
My vehicle's been seized by them.
Yes, and it's not your vehicle anymore. You've entered it.
It's not my vehicle anymore.
So if you'd like to get out, it's up to you. I'm going to speak to my supervisor to see what steps we can take next. Okay? Well, I've seen the paperwork.
This is my legal advisor.
Okay.
Can you hear?
What's his name?
David.
Hello, David.
Hello, good afternoon there. Are you a constable or an officer? I have a series of
Can I ask
questions.
your qualifications and your name, full name, please, and what practice you practice with? Thank you.
Not right now. I'm not obliged to answer that question under law. Yeah, but you are obliged to assist and answer in your capacities here today as a constable, I hope. Yeah.
I don't know who you are.
Can we just calm down?
On the
Can we
phone,
all
I don't
calm
know who you are. If you'd like to come down, show me you can
Calm down.
That'd be great.
Well,
Thank you.
introductions and identities and capacities are first in the port of call. This is a warrant for taking control of goods order, and we need to control this situation. I am legally trained, and we will quote English and Wales law in the civil procedural rules. I'm going to save you from getting in trouble, possibly, and any liability and damages that you may inflict and allow. So I'm not here to vexate you, and I'm here to help you, and I'm legally trained. If you're not legally trained, officer or constable, then I can help you as well. Okay, this lady is about to commit theft, and you need to be, helping on this. Or if you aid and abet a corporation, that's against your policy and rules and the civil procedural rules and civil matters. Okay, sorry?
Do you even know the definition of theft, sir?
Yes, I do. Yes, taking someone else's property. You take someone else's property that doesn't belong to you in the paraphrase.
That's not the definition of theft.
What is the definition of theft?
Well, the key points in the definition of theft is that you dishonestly appropriate something with the intention of permanently depriving someone of it. Obviously, with the fact that the vehicle's being seized, it's not going to be sold immediately. So you're not intending to permanently deprive someone, obviously, if they're willing to pay for the value. And also, you're not being dishonest about it, because you've obtained a warrant from the court. So let's not go down that route of being silly and saying we know things about theft and we don't.
Warrant cards and identities, please, to identify you for recall, Salim. And you need to record this as well.
It's all being recorded. He's welcome to record it. He's obviously sat in the vehicle. At the end of the day, we're going to seek advice from our supervisor as to how we want to proceed with the matter.
You will be liable under your professional capacity and your commercial insurance.
If you don't know the basic definition of theft, I don't really trust that you'll really...
I'm not obliged to explain that to you, and I'm out the office at the moment.
You poorly explained it, so I'm not going to really...
Taking someone else's property, I do believe that Lord Wolf and Lord Denning and Lord Bingham...
You don't have any legal...
Okay, you can assume what you like there. I don't need to.
He's walked off.
Oh, dearie me. They don't like it, do they? I'm not reading from a book here. I'm telling them what it is, taking someone's property without consent. It's theft. I'm not going to give them case in point, and oh my goodness me.
So what
He permanently deprived them of it. That's the textbook case, but he's not legally trained, but he knows what the definition of theft is. Well, that's all right, you might be able to quote a dictionary, but you're still legally liable here.
He's saying my vehicle's seized, and so they're going to take my vehicle.
Yeah, we just sit in it and stay there for a bit, I suppose. Yeah, that's the best thing to do.
They'll get me out of the car.
No, well, that's, what it's like. You'll have to maybe let them manhandle you out, I suppose, or get out. It's your choice. All of this is your choice. You can only do so much against Masonic gangs, And if you've made representation, this lady served the warrant. It's void. It's a void order. So, it's a civil matter, so they shouldn't be getting involved, remember?
Yeah.
This is when the rules of equity and common law collide, equity shall prevail. We need to let them know, but they're not bothered.
They're not listening. Yeah, they're not bothered. They're not going to listen either.
Just sit there and I've got rid of them before. We can try it again, and it depends on them. I just told them I'm trying to save them for some damages. Their inspector will give them the superintendent and inspector will now take the liability with them, but they haven't identified, they haven't showed warrant cards, identification needs to be done before you even think about getting out. You need to get them who they are.
Yeah.
You told them you sent a letter to Transport for London, so you got clean hands, you're in honour.
Yeah.
They're a third-party corporation. You are under the Taking Control of Goods Order Act. You can ask to go back to the issuing authority. We'll sort it. I'll get there. It depends on this officer. It's him. He didn't answer whether he was a constable or an officer. You need to show identity and warrant cards. Step by step before you even think about getting out. You can't just bow down to a bully, because that's what's happening here. This is terrorism.
I know. I'm getting bullied by obviously 2 police officers now, and obviously the bailiff, and I've got the tow truck there as well.
Yeah, get filming them and taking photographs of them for evidences as well, I suppose. Yeah.
I don't. This is not going to end well, mate. I'm telling you now. This is not going to end well. They're going to take my car and probably arrest me at the same time.
Yeah, but why? It's a civil matter, remember? So where is the crime at this moment in time, and why are they intervening? Remember, keep it like that. You just said it's a civil matter. It's prevent a breach of the peace. There is no breach of the peace. We are requiring the law to be applied. That's all. So there's no breach of the peace. You sat in the car peacefully. How are you breaching the peace? They're aiding and abetting a corporation to assist.
They're saying I no longer own the vehicle because they've now seized it.
Under what law? Yeah, under what authority?
They're saying the court, because they've got a court warrant of execution.
Yeah, what court and what judge then? Let's go down that. Okay, what court and what judge?
He said Northampton County Court on the
That's a
paperwork.
business centre. That's a business centre. It's not a court. It's a business centre. It's arbitratory. It's an arbitratory business centre. An administration. It's not a court of law. You haven't been before a judge, a jury, and your peers. You have the right to be guilty in law. You have to be taken to a court, and you have to be deemed guilty by a judge. That's how the law works. Simple. We go back to basics, and I'll tell him that. You're staying in your car until we get the actual law done. The business administration court says you're guilty. That's not law. And he needs to check with his inspector, his chief. His chief needs to confirm that you're guilty in a court of law and that they know what they're doing, because this is administrative and it's a business court. It's not a court. It's not a court of England and Wales, and it doesn't adhere to the civil procedural rules. So, therefore, they're out of jurisdiction, and if they force you to proceed, then they do it on their own professional, liability, public liabilities, and that's why we need introductions. That's all you can do. You can only fight them, or get out and just give them the vehicle. It's up to you.
Fucking hell, mate. The thing is, it's like it was 550 something quid. It's now gone up to about 1,000. She said, yeah, and she said she said she's taking the car, and then I'm thinking I don't really know what to do. We've got a difficult situation, but.
They can't drag you. If you willingly, equity doesn't aid a volunteer. Remember that maxim. And when the rules of common law collide with equity, those of equity shall prevail. He needs to shut the fuck up and let me talk to him and let us record it, so then we can say to him, now you've got first-hand knowledge of the real law and what a court is and a judge and authority. Yeah, then you need to make that decision, and then if he makes that decision and agrees to it on his liability and etc., then there's nothing you can do, because they're going to do what they did before and slightly smash the window and come in. Sometimes there's nothing. They're a gang, they win. It's like going up against an army with a pea shooter. But it's a civil matter, so they have no jurisdiction and no implied authority. You don't consent. There's no contract. This is a third-party corporation. If it was a real crime, why aren't the police there to take your car, and why is it a fucking company?
Yeah, exactly.
Answer me that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why are the police not taking your car if it was a crime, and why is there a private corporation there? This isn't law, this is a gangster, this is business. Otherwise the police would be taking it off you if it was a crime. Think about it, I'm not having a go at you, I'm just trying to keep it simple then, yeah? So why is he letting a corporation steal your property?
Hold on a second. This is under Section 26 of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act. This is like a criminal offence, imprisonable for 15 years, isn't it? Section 26 Criminal Justice and Courts Act. 100%.
Yeah, you can say that to them then. Well done for referring to that, yeah.
100%.
So that's all right, you can say that under the courts and under section 26. Have you recited that well? See, you are strong.
I've just got to stay focused. I'm just really exhausted because I've not slept for 3 days. I've been so stressed. So I'm like, really, they caught me like literally as I was like falling asleep at 6 o'clock this morning. It's well out of order. So this has been going on for 6 hours.
Yeah, they'll go and check, and they're going to allow a corporation to steal your property. But if it was a crime, there would be the police taking it, and not a corporation. The corporation accepts liability, and the police are aiding and abetting, and that's why it's a crime under Section 26. Boom! We've got them bang to rights, sir. But you need introductions, warrant cards, and all of that business first. Slow down everything. Introductions, name, rank, warrant card, not the Pels. You need to execute warrants, you need warrant cards, and that's your reverse liability. That's what got them last time, and it keeps getting them. Where is your warrant card? Warrant of executions and orders for taking control. You know, this is a military exercise, so we have to slow it all down and inform them that it's a crime under Section 26 of the Courts Act, and then we say to them, you're not guilty of anything. Just keep it slowly. You're doing well.
I think... Oh, mate, this is not going to turn out well. I've just got a feeling of...
Well, it'll be positive. It will do. This is, you know, it's worked before. When hundreds of people win and hundreds of people lose, it just depends on your, you know, on your ability.
Mm-hmm.
On your positive.
Just so I can remember, just in case anything happens, I think his badge number was 1485 for this call recording. 1485 badge number. For one of the officers. I couldn't see the other one.
So he hasn't even introduced himself. We've got to have introductions first and authority.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't just turn up wearing a uniform and pretend you're God for a king for the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, anybody can print something, can say you owe money and demand money by menaces, unjust enrichment.
Exactly, yeah.
I'm not legally trained. He's just pissed off because he doesn't know who I am, and we don't volunteer anything. I'm not obliged to. That's legal. That's my legal answer, you know. And I'm going to give him a paraphrasing of what theft is. I'm not stood in front of a book. He recites that every day. I'm a trust and equity, layman apostolate. I don't deal in theft. I deal in trust and equity. So I'll go above him, you know, in some respects with his little narrative of what he repeats every day. That's great. You can recite a definition from a dictionary. You're speaking legalese, yeah? We're speaking English. We don't understand. We do not understand, remember? It sounds like English, it looks like English, but it isn't English. What language do you speak? Are you legally trained, officer? No, you're not. Okay, then. Don't come up against me. You're not legally trained. You've just admitted that. We're familiar within law. Well, okay, then. So we got him to admit that as well. See, that was a good point.
Yeah.
You're not legally trained. What are you doing a legal job there? I'm trying to save you from damages, pal. See what I did to him? Yeah. I'm going to be nice here and help you out. This is a third-party corporation that you're aiding and abetting with trespass and theft. What does it say in the Bible? Forgive those who trespass against us. Do you not read the Bible? You ever heard of God and Jesus and the Ten Commandments? Trespass is trespass. It's a civil matter. Not biblically speaking, it isn't. Not in front of God. Now, who did the Queen swear an oath of allegiance to? So we got them bang to rights all over the place. It's illegal bullshit there. It's not trespass, it's not theft. Okay, we speak biblically, Abrahamic law, trust and equity, equitable, you know, and then we go legal with the person. We don't consent, human rights. And you've made representation, you've got clean hands, they're there for a civil matter, there's no crime, well, they'd be taking the car. Count the Courts Act, Section 26, boom, we'll just go like that, see? Watch him, back down. Hold them to account. You're sitting in the vehicle. They can manhandle you, then that's going to be assault.
I know, we've already been through this before. Remember, they've already smashed the window of my last car, do you remember, and dragged me out?
You are known to them. I think they've got a vendetta against you as well, perhaps, you know, a little bit. So we could say that this is harassment now. This is if they carry on and they're going to force it, say that this is clearly a case of racist harassment, maybe. If they're always white officers that are coming to you, let me say it, I'll say it.
Yeah.
That's how we feel. It's funny that, dressed in black, white guys dressed in black, thinking they know the law.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Vulnerable members of this community that may or may not be ethnic. You know, I claim the ethnic card: Italian, Greek, Irish. I'm a traveller.
Yeah,
We're
they're coming back.
travellers. You know.
David, they're coming back. They're coming back.
All right. No, I hold it tight. You can speak and tell them.
Okay, they're just talking to the woman at the moment.
Yeah, you've made representation and you're in honour. The letter must have got lost. It's in dispute and it's conditionally accepted. If it's in dispute, there can't be any actions. So you're going to have to send it again. This time it'll be signed for.
It's coming now.
I'm recording again, so you may want to record.
Yes, yes.
I'm not going to advise you that removal, concealment, or disposing of your car.
Sorry, can you just? I can't really hear you. Just slow down a little bit.
It has been
I can't.
seized,
Hello,
okay?
hello. I can't. You're talking
And
too
also,
quickly.
If you cut off the clamp, that could also amount to criminal damage. Okay.
Well, first of all, I need to put you on notice. What is your name, first of all?
Okay, PC. My name's here. My short number's here.
No, hold. Excuse me.
Thank you.
Excuse me. I've called you. Okay. Why are you walking away? I just called you to come and speak to me. Just called you over.
Was that response to a threat, and where's his warrant card?
Where's your warrant card?
There's a warrant card. I don't show my warrant card on uniform.
Yes, it does.
You do have to show your warrant card.
Not in uniform yet. Anyway,
Not in uniform, you don't.
Oh, really? What law? Yeah, he's just giving you advice. It's just a threat. Is he threatening you?
Yes.
He's threatening you.
Yes. Yeah. He's threatening me. He's threatening me. He says if you don't get out of the car, you'll be arrested. He said, and if you cut off the clamp, that's going to be criminal damage because it's on the vehicle.
You told them about the Section 26. Are they aware of Section 26 of the court, what you've just repeated to me? Ask them if they're aware of a crime they're possibly aiding and abetting in a crime now, in Section 26.
They won't even talk to me. They said we're not talking to you unless you get out of the car now.
Just sit there, just sit tight then, and then I don't know. You can get out. It's your choice, but if you get out, it's game over. If you sit there, there's a chance of a possible arrest. Now you need to make the call. I can't tell you what to do, but I'm just telling you what the options are. We've done this before, and
If you've got an email, would you like a copy of the warrant?
we need the judge's name.
Yeah.
Electronically, do you want a copy of it by email?
I need what I need.
I'm asking you a question. Yes
Okay.
or no? Do you want a copy of the warrant? Yes or no?
Is it in paper format?
Okay. Do you want a copy of the warrant? If so,
If in paper format, do they have a copy of the original?
The judge's name. The judge's name.
electronic.
What's the judge?
Judge.
Do you want a copy of the warrant? Yes or no?
Do we want a copy of the warrant? Yes or no?
The paper format of the warrant and the judge's name legible, so we can claim back on the judge. We need the judge's name on the warrant, and we need to see the paperwork under law. We're obliged to see the paperwork. They're obliged to give it. It's not yes or no.
Do you want a copy?
They are obliged to provide it.
Okay, can I
A burden of proof.
Can you have the email address so he can email it to me?
Digital copies? No, we need the paper copy now, don't we? We need the judge's name. What's the judge's name? Okay, is he able to tell us the judge's name and what court?
Okay, you're not listen. You're not listening here because what I've been trying to explain to you, you're not listening, is that I need the details of the judge because what you need to understand is these guys acting fraudulently.
Yeah. And they're aiding and abetting.
Sorry, say that again.
Warrant card.
I know what appears on the warrant. On the warrant should be the judge's name. Okay?
Yes, so give us a copy. Can they tell us now the judge's name and provide their warrant
he
card?
said he's going to send over a digital copy. So yeah, I know. Sorry, say that again. That's a
That's a
business
business
centre.
centre. That's not a court.
That's not a court. That's a business
Business
centre.
centre. It's a private corporation.
He said.
Can you refuse to answer my question?
Excuse. What do you mean? I've just asked for it. He said I've refused to answer his question.
Tell him it's being recorded. Remember,
I didn't.
It's being recorded.
I didn't refuse it.
No, they're just playing the game.
He said that he's putting down on file that I've refused a copy
Yeah.
of the court order.
No, they haven't got it because we've just said it's a business. We just said it's not a court. We've asked for it. We didn't say we didn't want it. We just said that that's not a court, and we require the judge's name.
Exactly. That's all I asked him.
That was argumentation. He doesn't know what he's doing.
He's driving off now. He said we're going. He's just driving off.
What? So that means that, so therefore they can't, that's a good sign, that's a good sign, otherwise they'd be arresting you, fam. Alright, so that's, calm down, that's good. Now let's see what this lady does. You need to go and speak to that lady, I do believe. If the police are gone, you can now speak to that lady, ask her to remove the clamp.
Yeah, the police have already told me. They said if I remove the clamp, it's criminal damage.
Yeah, well, other people have done that and they've not been arrested, you know, and they haven't got, but listen, the police have been and gone, what does that tell you, fam?
Yeah, that's good.
What did I tell you? Hello?
Yeah.
The police normally arrest you and detain you. When there's a crime, they arrest and detain. They've just been and spoke to the chief. Yeah? And the chief's told them, if you can get in, get in. If you can't, leave it. Because they're not legally trained. They've left. They've left the battlefield. Who's left the... That was a battle then, and the police have left first.
Oh, the lorry's gone. The truck's gone as well.
Right. Okay, number two. That's good. So you've kept your vehicle, your property. We've got them recorded. They know they're being recorded. They're recording. We're recording. We need to speak to the lady in a minute.
No, she's gone.
With her red plate. If she's not insured and she's in the normal van and she's not insured to do business, she's committed a crime. We need her registration.
I've got it already. I got that this morning, mate.
Go and tell her now. Go and have a word with her.
She's driven off with the tow truck driver. They've all gone. The police have gone and the tow truck driver's gone. Everyone's gone.
So now it's down to you to talk about, go back in the Facebook group then and we'll chat there. I'm going to go home and tell them what we've done, update the Facebook fam, and let's get some heads together. I think I know what's going to happen here. We're going to be removing that lock and charging. If you can get that tyre down and the wheel off and that lock off without damaging it, you padlock that lock to somewhere and charge the company without getting it off, without damaging it, is the ultimate aim here. And then you've got your vehicle back and you charge them standing charges and a fee for coming to get it back because it's their property. But they put their property on your property without consent. The police have been and left, all right? So we've had a win here. I know it's not great, but now we need to have a chat with Facebook and they'll tell you the same. You can get that clamp off without damaging it, yeah, then you've won and you've won and you've won. So for now, well, I've got to go and we'll see you later. All right, my brother.
Nice one, brother. Thank you.
Box 8. All right, bye-bye.
Bye.
Update Facebook.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
we'll do. Okay, bye.